This is Jackie.
And this is Heather.
And welcome to
Millennial Mom Chatter, your go-to podcast for candid conversations and fresh perspectives.
We're just two millennial moms navigating life one hilarious audio message at a time. Join us for laughs, adventures, and real talk.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Millennial Mom Chatter. First off, Happy New Year.
Yay.
It's been a few weeks. Yeah. We've taken off a few weeks to spend time with family and each other.
Yes. It was a goodie.
So Happy New Year, guys. How are you?
The big 2025, right? Isn't that crazy?
I know.
Like, we're 25 years into what we thought was going to be the end of the world.
And I still think, 20 years ago was the 80s.
I know. Like, whenever I see stuff on TV, I'm like, that was just when we were kids a couple of years ago.
Yeah. 40 years ago was the 80s.
That's so crazy. And it's kind of silly, but I'm like closer to 40 than I am my own childhood, which is like for me. Like, so I'm a grown up. It's official.
I know. It truly is wild that we are halfway. Thinking of 2000 was 25 years ago. We only have, that felt like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
So we just have that much time until 2050, which is wild.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Our kids will be adults.
Which, by the way, Xenon was in 2047, I think.
Oh, really? That was supposed to be when that takes place?
So we're coming up.
Wow. Okay. So we'll be flying. I look forward to all of this. And the fashion from what she wears. I'm here for
I
it.
dreamed of having that outfit. I was
the silver and
outfit.
purple. Yeah.
But, I mean, they do say that there's going to be a space hotel in 2027.
Would you go on that?
Yes, in I don't know how many years. It's questionable, right? Because you're okay, I need to make sure that it's safe.
Okay.
But then at the same time, the longer you wait, the older it becomes too. So then
yeah,
you have to go in the balance of they've worked everything out, but it's not old.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Sort out their kinks, but then also not when things start breaking down. And
I think I would. Yeah, it depends on the price, but I think I mean safety wise or being scared, I don't think I would be scared. I don't know if I'd stay a super long time. But I think I would. Would you?
Yeah, I would. Same kind of situation where I wouldn't be the first person to go. And then depending on price, let's be reasonable here. But I would absolutely, if it was within our means, I would go because I think that'd be a cool experience. Book it for maybe a couple days to kind of just do all of the things and then come back and just be check in the box.
Yeah. I think the scariest part would be getting there, not so much being in the hotel.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. A rocket launch to get up there, 100%.
They say that they're going to do, I haven't looked into it, so people don't quote me on this. But I remember they were trying to create almost an elevator style thing to space. So it would be basically on this line. So I'm assuming that if they're going to do a hotel, there has to be a mode of transportation that's convenient, right?
Yeah. Because what was it? Wasn't there a plane that they had? You could pay a couple $100,000 and it would take you up, and it counted as space because it took you out of the first atmosphere or whatever.
Right.
So it's is that where they're going to put it? Or are they putting it way as if we're going to the moon? Would it take a long time to get there? Or is it closer?
No, I think
space?
It's close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now I want to look into this. Now I need to know how long would it take to get there? And I'm imagining they'd want to put their guests through some sort of health screening. You probably couldn't go up there if you had health problems, I would assume.
That's it. I'm out. No, they're not going to qualify me. They're going to be you have a lot of problems. You have thyroid. You have this. We can't risk. No, we'll see. Yeah. Maybe when we're maybe instead of our cruising destination in retirement, it's going to be
just us going to space.
Space hotel.
Yeah. I'm here for it. And we're just going to podcast from space, guys. Stay tuned.
That'd be fun. I mean, I think at this point you just got to YOLO it. If you're really, not really old, but it's you've seen your grandchildren, you're old, you're retired. Like, why not?
No, for sure. Same with the, I know this is kind of like a weird one, but that little submersible that tried to go and explore the Titanic, like the tragic story with that. Like, I kind of get why the people wanted to go. Like, I kind of feel like I have that inner explorer in me as well, where I'm like, if I can afford it, like, I think I would want to go explore the ocean deep or the space or all of these cool places.
Me too,
before
but I wouldn't
die,
do
before I get
something-
old. Like,
Yeah, me too, but I wouldn't do something that like they knew it was like unsafe to.
it hadn't been like
in that
safety,
situation.
Yeah, there hadn't been like the thorough, like big regulation inspections.
Like
done
they've
on
been
it.
doing it,
Yeah.
and the second I'm telling you, the second I got in and they were using like a game controller,
the PlayStation controller.
I'm out.
Like,
Like what do you do? Okay, you've gone all this way. You've spent, like that guy with his son. He spent, $200,000,
lots of money.
What do you do if you get in and that's the thing you see? You have the guts to back out.
No, because I would be like, oh, he's just got one of those science dork brains that's just like really geeked out on this, and he's like, there's a method to this, and I'm just going with it. Like,
I think Jackie would do it.
yeah, I would.
Like,
I
I
would
think you're
not.
like, it's fine,
Yeah, I'm
guys.
like, he knows what he's doing. I trust him.
I also don't know if you'd have the guts to be like, I'm leaving and I don't trust you.
No, I wouldn't. I'm such a people pleaser to my core that I would just. I have like a gut instinct that this is not going to be okay, but I'm not going to say anything. Like, especially to his face.
Yeah, that's like when they say they have like mechanical issues in the plane and you're sitting there like, do I get on?
Yeah. And I'd probably be even if like other people around me backed out and got off of the submarine, I would still be like, oh, we're all going? Okay. And then I'd be like, no, you don't have to refund me. Just like, it's okay. I'm just going to like leave. Don't worry about it.
Unless everyone got off.
Exactly.
I don't think you'd get
Yeah.
off. That's funny.
Yeah.
I think I'd get off. I have a lot of questions. That's for sure.
So the PlayStation
I'd be
controller
like-
for you was like already the first like indicator.
Yes.
You're like,
Yes.
Yeah.
But how's your new year?
it was good. We ended up spending it with my sister-in-law in Virginia, and it was really nice to just have that like family time. And it was really casual at the house and everything, but it was fun. We played games, had lots of
Nice.
yummy food, so it was good. How was yours?
Super chill.
Yeah.
I sat on the couch.
Stay up.
overworked.
You stayed up till midnight?
Unfortunately. I was like wanting to go to sleep, and I was like, the kids wanted to stay up and see the ball drop, and so we did.
Oh, that's
But Alvaro worked, and then maybe at like 8 or 9, I introduced Rylan to Napoleon Dynamite, and he thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah, I
let's
love
see
that
Bing,
movie.
But yeah, he really liked it.
Yeah. Do
He,
you
like,
like
is old
Napoleon
enough-
Dynamite?
I do. I do because it's nostalgic.
Okay.
But like, it's like not a good movie. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But it was fine. I wasn't like miserable watching it. But it's nostalgic, and I still think there's parts that are funny.
Yeah.
But it's funny because he's at the age now where he like understands the humor
Yeah.
in it. He almost died when Kip came out, like when he was like ghetto with his do-rag, and he's like, peace. And he was like almost in tears.
Yeah. I think you could introduce it to Jax. So we had Liam watch it actually just like last month, and he was just rolling over it. So I feel like Jax could too.
Jax watched a little bit of it. He wanted to watch Sonic
Yeah.
in the room.
Oh,
like
that's fair.
he knew, but he was like, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Because it's not really like, there's nothing captivating about it. So I think we just like told Liam, like, sit. Like, you're in for a treat. Like,
Yeah.
so
I know.
what is
Alvaro
this?
had never seen it. I know.
What?
And so Rylan's like, you have to, the next day, he was like, I want you to watch it with me.
I was
then-
obsessed with that movie. I can't believe he hasn't seen it.
I know. He was like, it's cute. I was like, that's his famous line for every movie. It's cute. I'm like, he's
Nothing
like, obviously it's not
else?
the best movie, but
Yeah.
it was like, he thought it was like funny. you know?
Yeah. Oh,
But
when do
he
you
was-
think it was? When does this movie take place? I have the hardest time trying to think, like, when is Napoleon Dynamite? When is he in high school? Do you think this is the early 2000s or the late 90s? Or when do you think
I
this
thought
is?
I thought it was like late 80s.
But they have things that make me think that it could be like more recent times, like the stuff that's taking
No.
place.
Like with
in
all
it.
the carpet and stuff, it almost
Yeah.
is like late. It might not even be late 80s. It might be even like, yeah, maybe late 80s.
I want to know because that's
think
what
of
I've
all the
always been
girls'
wondering.
outfits and hair.
Yes. No, but then she
and,
says
like-
when Summer does her president speech, she's like, I want Bonnie Bell lip smacker machines in all of the girls' bathrooms. Like stuff like that is like, oh, is this like more recent? Like I'm not saying like 2000s.
look it up.
I know, but it's just one of those where I'm just like, is this in the Dakotas where they're like in such a small town, they're like behind? Like the music
Well,
is
that's what I
definitely
was
late
wondering, too.
80s. Like then she's got like her caboodles, like makeup case with the keychains and stuff. And I'm just like,
Oh yeah, maybe they. Hold on.
I was so curious because like I could never. They make it so vague, but just enough detail where I'm like, when does this movie take place?
So it says the film is set during the 2004-2005 school year, but then it says the film contains several culturally retroactive elements harkening back between the 1970s and 1990s. So it's like,
so they intentionally did that to be vague, like to kind of make us question it the whole entire
I
time.
guess people are saying how their town like is old.
Yeah.
Like it.
The cars and like the Tupperware.
I still don't see how it can be 2005.
But he video chats with
we got
LaFonda.
married. Yeah, but we got married 7 years later. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? This
Yeah,
is-
but it's crazy because Kip video chats with LaFonda. So the video chatting on the internet, because he's like, I've been chatting with hot babes on the internet all day, Napoleon. Like that is the 2000s.
Yeah, that's
so that's
true.
why I'm just
But-
like, why do you give us 80s music at the school dance, but then he's chatting with hot babes on the internet all day? Like what
And, like,
time
these
frame
glamour
is-
shots.
Yeah, the glamour shots, like all of it. I was like, when is this?
I don't know, actually. Yeah, I never really thought about it. I always thought it was older, but also the computer, thinking back on it, that Kip like types on could never video chat. Like it's
Yeah,
the,
it is like an old school desktop. Yeah.
Like for sure he was not video
Yeah,
chatting.
like chatting with babes on the internet, Napoleon. Like, I just loved that movie so much.
I used to have a Liger shirt.
Oh yes, yeah. I had all of the things. Like just Napoleon was like, because remember like Hot Topic and stuff would sell like Napoleon
Yeah.
Dynamite like PJs and like magnets and like notepads and stuff. So I had like a little like yak back that like had all the quotes on it, and like I could just press it and it would just tell me all the Napoleon Dynamite stuff. And I'm just like, I was that person. I was just like, I had them all memorized. Like so good.
That's funny. Yeah, it's one of those movies that like I think it's good because you have to watch it like when you're younger at that time, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
I don't think if I ever saw that movie like currently, I think I would giggle a little, but I'd probably never watch it again.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
it's not
part of
a-
it is like
Award-winning
cool-
like, quality movie. Like sit
But-
down and pay attention. Like
yeah, but I think that it's nostalgic and we all like crack jokes about it together, and so it became a thing.
yeah.
But it was like it was definitely made at the perfect time,
Yeah.
because if it was not and it was like currently, I don't think it would, like I don't think Gen Z would find it funny. I don't
No.
know why. I just don't
That's
think
I
they
could
would.
see that. Yeah, that's a good point. I loved it though
It's
because
our-
my literature teacher, he actually dressed like Napoleon Dynamite and did like those kind of like slouchy boots with the baggy
yeah.
pants and the Vote for Pedro shirt, and he had like a wig on, and he like came in and played one of the songs from the movie to like get our like pique our interest, and we all were just like, oh my god. Like, and it was just like chef's kiss. Like we
Yeah.
were, this is how you get to high schoolers' brains. Like you just tap into a movie like this and just fully just like dive into it. And I appreciated that. And I'll never forget that. Like that's like core memory now.
That's funny.
just like
Don't tell
teachers.
Alvar that story about your high school. We were running
Any
joke about,
teacher would have done that. That has nothing to do with a Colorado high school.
we have a running joke that Jackie went to like a rich people's school, and just because she's
Goodness.
for any of those Miami listeners, or we have like very simple schools here.
Normal schools.
No. We have very simple schools, apparently. Jackie says it's all over the country like this, where they have like rock climbing and skiing clubs and like, you know, indoor pools. And guys, we do not have that here in Miami. I mean, like you're lucky if you have a high school that like has more than 2 sports teams.
I
Like,
think we have to also like give perspective though. Miami is they're restricted by real estate. So a lot of your high schools, they're not going to have a track, a softball field, baseball field, football field.
Yeah, but the problem
because
is,
there's
like,
no real
there's a
estate
lot-
for that.
There's a lot of schools that have huge fields that don't ever get used.
You're not supposed to say that. We're
massive-
supposed to stick with the idea that there's no space.
No, I'm just like, it's just different. I don't know what it is. We are lacking extracurricular activities.
Which is wild because you would think with the year-round good weather, Miami would be the best
should be, right?
for all of the sports because you guys could play and practice year-round versus other schools that have to be like really restricted by the seasons. So I don't know. I feel like I was just like, what? Like,
I know. So anyways, Jackie went to a really nice high school that had a lot of things for her to do. And Alvaro just always messes with her about it.
It wasn't a rich school. It was a very, for those of you who went to high school with me, we know, like, it's a normal school. It was a great school. It's just, it's crazy to think about like different schools across the country. Like I was talking to another girlfriend about it. High schools in California have lockers outside. So like stuff like that, you see that in movies where they go to their locker and it's like outside in like some sort of like courtyard. And I'm just like, wow, that's cool. Like we would have never had that. Like ours was all inside because it's cold in the winter. So things like that. I'm always like, oh, that's neat. I didn't have that. So.
I think I would say some schools do have lockers outside. It has to be like really covered because of rain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because rains here a lot in Florida. But yeah, it's just different. Yeah. It's different. Like every time we go by, high schools or schools in other cities, we're like, wow, this is what like a real school is.
A real school.
Like, don't schools look different here?
No, they do. And whenever I see movies where like a school is like in the Midwest or something, and it just is like this really beautiful brick building with like gigantic like oak trees outside with like a courtyard and sidewalks and benches for the students to sit and chat. And I'm just like, what is that? Because I feel like my school is like normal, but it doesn't look like anything like you wouldn't put it in a movie. So I'm just
but I feel like it looks similar to what we're talking about. Like, I feel like it doesn't look like a Miami school.
But I feel like some of the schools have potential, like in Miami, to be very
some
gorgeous.
Some schools have potential.
Campuses.
They just will never put the money into them. It's like the fire stations here. Alvaro sees the fire stations from everywhere else, and it's like, look how beautiful that looks. Yeah. And theirs is like, has, black mold. And
it's fine. You can't see the black mold from the outside. It's fine.
I was like, every time he's like, I just try not to, when I'm like going to sleep, I try not to look up because like you can just see, it's just disgusting. Like, and they're trying to slowly redo them, but they're not doing it fast enough.
Public service announcement. Take care of our firefighters. We need them. Okay. So everyone out there who's like a city official, because we've got lots of listeners. So you never know whose ears are in our podcast, but take care of your firefighters and your fire stations. They're our heroes. We need them.
I know. Alvaro always tells the guys, he's like, do you want them to renovate our stations or do you want better pay?
That's fine. We can breathe black mold for a good paycheck. That's fine.
That's what Alvaro's like. I'll take the raise over fixing the station.
That's fine.
But anyways, my New Year's was good. Chill.
That's good.
Circled way back.
Oh, yeah.
But we are doing 75 soft for those listeners, which is making sure that we are hydrated, working out for 45 minutes a day, eating a balanced diet, and reading 10 pages a day of any book. So just creating better habits. It's not like a rigorous. There is something called 75 hard, which is 2 45-minute workouts. One of them has to be outside. You have to drink a gallon of water a day. This is like a softer version just to kind of like get back into good routines. Because Jack and I are going to be beasts this year.
Yeah. Totally. That's the goal.
That's the goal. That's our resolution that we always
like. This is something that with it being 75 soft with friends and like a community, I think this is what it takes to make something stick.
Yes. We are doing a little Discord group for like accountability and kind of like to hype each other up. And so if you want to join it, let me know or let her know. But I think it's good.
Yeah.
I just hope that I want this to be a habit.
Oh, for sure.
Like past 75 days.
Yeah. And that's what, did you do any New Year's resolutions or is the 75 soft your New Year's resolution?
I didn't specifically make a New Year's resolution to like get in shape or lose weight, but like I do want to. Like that is something I want to do. Because I think I don't even want to say it out loud because it's like just another failed attempt.
Have you ever been a New Year's resolution girly? Like, has that been something you've done in the past?
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely said it before and then I never keep them.
Okay.
Sadly, like everyone else in the world, right?
Yep. Very relatable.
It's like after 1 month, you're like, you know how many times I've been like, I'm going to read the Bible every day and I'm going to read the whole Bible in the year. It's like,
That one's
wow,
hard.
how many years later?
Yeah. And we're still on the same one. Like, still working towards that same goal.
I mean, I've definitely read the Bible through before.
Yeah.
Have not read it through in a long time and done it in like a year.
Yeah.
So I really need to do that. I would like to do that this year, but I didn't make my New Year's resolution, so I could fail God again.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. I get it.
But I think my only New Year's resolution that I specifically was like intentionally is I'm going to be intentional with my kids.
Ooh.
I'm going to try to be like intentional with parenting, intentional with spending quality time with them, intentional with like pouring like the word into them and like values and like character stuff and all that kind of stuff.
I like that.
So that's going to be like my goal this year. Not this year, just moving on. We can't
2026, it's over. I don't love you guys anymore. Figure it out.
Bye. I put in my year.
Yeah.
Just kind of like being grounded in like my parenting and like making sure I stick to what I say.
Yeah.
And like trying to build up their character, like any negative talk and just different things. I'm going to try to like be better at that.
Especially our kids' age, I think too, it's beneficial because they always say we reflect onto our kids. So if we have a bad attitude, they're going to have a bad attitude. And our kids are old enough to be aware of that now. It's different when they're 1-year-olds because we can just do kind of whatever we want. Like they're not sucking that information in really.
Yeah.
But I feel like now, like our kids are they see everything. They hear everything. They know all things. So I feel like this is a good year. Like,
right. And they have their like not set things. They've already had their, personality traits and they've developed habits and all that kind of stuff. But I still feel like they're still impressionable.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So it's like now is the time.
Yeah. I could see that.
Because I'm running out of time with Rylan.
Oh, yeah. Because he's a teenager.
Meaning when I'm saying I'm running out of time, I really want to, there's certain things that I really want to make sure he understands. Like I want him to like value himself. I want him to think he's smart. I want him to think like where he is more like a self-doubt kind of kid.
Gotcha. Yep.
And so I really want to like build that up.
Oh, for sure.
Because,
that's
like,
beautiful.
He's already in middle school and I feel like I'm running out of time if I don't really tackle that.
I could see that.
I know it's just part of his personality, right? There's some people that like naturally their personality is not going to be like very
like there's always like a piglet in a room and a Tigger in a room and an Eeyore in the room. So like those are some people's personalities just to be kind of like self-doubters, but they're fine. Like they obviously can be successful in the world and it doesn't change anything. It's just their perspective on how they cope with that. So it's smart that you're getting onto him at this age because these are really big years for him and not for the kids as well, but just because like you said, he's older. Like this is
don't let me fail, Jackie.
No, you're not going to. You guys are awesome with like parenting and stuff. So I have faith in you. Like you're going to be able to do this. It's just, I didn't even think about it. It's kind of crazy to think like these are little adults. Like their personalities are starting to stick. And so we can kind of, like you said, they are still impressionable enough that we can kind of, put them back on track if there's something that we need to kind of work on. So I think it's a good idea.
It's not that it's like too late when they're in high school, but it is a little bit like it's going to be a lot of work and like a lot of work on their end that they might not even want to do.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. Especially at a teenager when they're just all out of sorts. Yeah. There's no like coming back on track. Like it's the end of the world.
So I'm just trying to like, I've been trying to do like nighttime, like almost wind down devotional. We all pray together.
That's
like
cute.
Try to just like bring in like positivity and the word and who God made them to be. And instead of it being like self-doubt or like, like negative talk or anything that.
No, that's great.
So.
Yeah. Cause I mean, even adults, you hear adults talk about that for themselves. So to like hone in on the kids and kind of eliminate any sort of self-doubt and like you said, negative chatter and stuff before they go to bed. That's great. I think they'll benefit from that.
That's my goal this year. Any new goals for you?
The 75 soft is the goal.
You're like, that's not my year. Yeah. That's just for the next 75 days.
Well, it's like what you had mentioned earlier too. I'm hoping it takes, what do they say, 21 days to build a habit. So 75 days, surely this will become my kind of norm then. And then I can just kind of like
you're
maintain.
Already good with that.
Yeah. And I want to keep it up, I think. Like I want to go hard.
You've already made working out such a habit for you. You made me work out on Christmas. Guys,
I did.
Jackie was like on Christmas morning. So like we finished opening the presents and eating, and she's like, "So we're working out, right?" And I'm like, "What? I've never worked out on Christmas in my life."
And we built that habit now. So now you're gonna be like, oh, I need my Christmas routine. I need my Christmas morning workout. You guys ready? Let's go. Like,
oh my gosh, she brought her Thanksgiving turkey trot into my Christmas life.
bring in the energy.
Yeah, Alvaro was the only one that didn't work out.
Oh, that's true.
Wait, yeah,
On
Tony
Christmas,
ran.
yeah. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna get on Alvaro.
So I worked out, guys, on Christmas.
Yeah.
So when Jackie says she wants to be like building the habit this year, she's lying. She already has that habit. She is already so good at working out all the time.
Yeah, but I have my own personal goals. So I think for me, I have a bad habit
she wants
of like
to do booty and leg goals.
I want that peach. I want to grow that peach. I just think that I tend to hit the easy button. So even with working out, I feel like I can push myself harder. So
okay,
it's not,
so that's your goal.
Yeah, it's just to kind of
to like go hard.
Yeah, so I should have done
Yeah.
a 75 hard. But no, not really. Not really. The 75 soft is fine because it's going to get me back into my routine. And then my goal is to grow the peach. So that can just be my focus.
You need a solid 30 to 40 minute hardcore weight training. No cardio.
Yeah.
Just build those muscles.
Yeah.
And eat.
And eat. That's the other thing is like I'm hoping
that should be your goal.
Yeah, the eating is like the other thing because it goes like hand in hand with that. And I think that's kind of where I don't know. It's like not an eating disorder, but it's like where I forget to eat or I get so busy and then all of a sudden I'm reaching for the candy jar and I'm dang, like that's not going to help me do anything. I'm not making gains over here. So I'm hoping the 75 soft will really push me. I just need to be more intentional because I feel like I'm like, oh, cool. I'm, taking a protein shake. I'm doing all these things, but it's not enough. I need to be like a little bit more over the top. So I'll figure it out. If you guys have tips or pointers, I'm here for it. Is it just lots of chicken breast and steak all day long? Like,
yeah.
Lots of eggs.
And don't shy away from red meat either.
No, we love red meat. I see a lot of people talk about that as well. And I think my husband and I love
quality
red meat. Yeah.
Like it's good for you.
Yeah, I'm here for, even like pork, like we love all meat. So I feel like I'm not even trying to stick to like a salmon and chicken breast diet. We are across the board.
Do it. The people that just stick to like chicken or turkey and they just constant chicken or turkey, I'm like, how?
No, especially if you meal prep and then now you've had like a 5-day-old chicken breast sitting in your fridge. Ugh, I can't do it.
I think, okay, well, turkey's definitely my least favorite meat, but then second is chicken. I like chicken, but like I will choose beef or like a good pork over chicken.
Yeah. Because there's just so much more flavor. I don't know. You can maintain the juiciness longer.
Maybe it's because we're just overwhelmed with chicken and like our society and world. Like,
and it's the go-to
I
for
grew
like
up eating
easy
so
meals.
much chicken. Did you?
Yes. Yeah.
so
much chicken breast, like everything. And I get it. I even do it on my daily like routine of cooking meals and stuff. There's a lot of chicken dishes.
No, I do too.
So I'm just like, dang it.
I know. My brother used to joke. He'd be like, "What's for dinner?" And he'd be like, "Chicken. What kind of chicken?"
How are
like
we
we
getting
know
it
it's
today?
chicken, but what kind of chicken? So it's okay. I say we actually eat probably beef more than chicken.
That's good. Yeah.
I would say, or it's pretty even.
Yeah. I think we definitely lots of chicken, and then we try to get a lot of beef in there. That's going to be our like high second for sure. Just naturally.
Give me the blood.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah. So good.
But speaking of New Year's resolutions, we actually did a poll on our Instagram page. You guys might have seen it. And the numbers were not shocking. We already knew this. Basically, we asked our listeners, hey, do you guys set New Year's resolutions? And if so, do you keep them? Majority do not do New Year's resolutions. And those who do don't keep them. Are we shocked by this?
No.
No.
No. That's like, and I think we actually wanted to see if our poll was like very similar to like what society and like, is going on in society. And it was. She looked up a article.
Yeah, CBS
Who
News.
Was it from? Forbes?
So CBS News shared some like stats from Forbes, and basically they conducted the same kind of poll as we did across North America, and it was the same results. Like.
Yeah, and wasn't it like more than 25% fail within the first month?
Yeah, so they had it broken down by months. So basically, the only people who make it by month 4 So majority bailout by the 4th month. And that was at, 1% of pollers lasted the full year. 1%. So basically it just trickles down within the first couple months and you're down to like a really small number.
First, it trickles down a lot the first month. Because if you get to the second month, you're like decently committed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think it comes back to the like kind of what we talked about with our 75 soft, which I think was our intention with it, is to build a habit, you need a couple weeks. So like I think that first month is showing who's sticking with it and who's not. Like for normal people.
Us being in the group, even though there's other people that don't feel the need to post or be like, I did my workout, I feel like I need to. And if I don't say that I did a workout, then I failed.
Oh, yeah. Yep. To hold yourself accountable. That's your physical check in the box. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I could see that. I'm
also,
similar in
TikTok is my also evidence.
And it works too because we're doing it for our social media. So it works out that we can kind of like share the 75 soft at the same time that we're working towards our community.
Which Jackie didn't post day 2 yesterday.
I know. I'm sorry.
So we don't even know she did it.
I failed our.
I'm just joking. I saw her workout on her watch.
We don't even know. Jackie's like lying.
Everyone else
on
doesn't
day
know.
2.
She could have failed on day 2. Yeah, I think I'm going to be good on this. I think I'm going to be good.
But I think you're also a person that already had healthy habits to begin with. Even when I first met you, I feel like you guys were in a pretty good routine. So I don't think this is going to be hard for you. And I think because you and your husband both try to incorporate a healthy lifestyle, it could be like he supports you. And you already do these things.
And he wants to like really get back in tip-top shape. So I do really well. We've talked about this before. I do really well. And then I fall off when like we have a vacation or life hits hard. And then it's hard for me to pick back up again. And then I finally pick back up again. And then life hits again. Or we go on vacation or we have the holiday. Like something trips me up and I just need to stop making the excuses. So here we are. I worked on a Christmas, guys.
Yeah, you're already making huge strides.
Already winning.
Yeah, you're already on top. And you've been consistent. Yeah. We're on day 3 and you're still killing it. So honestly, you're going to be fine. And it's great too for our listeners. We intentionally did this 75 soft to line up perfectly with our kids' spring break. So we really get to like treat ourselves.
Well, we didn't even fully know that actually.
No, it just worked out. It's going to be a good year, guys. Like,
it's going to be a good year.
Thank you all for being loyal to us into 2025 and like, basically engaging in all of the things because we appreciate all of the love and the support along the way. So it's been exciting.
And now our family and friends actually know.
Yeah, you might have noticed on social media, we let the cat out of the bag. Like it's no longer a secret. Everyone knows about the podcast. So we don't have to like hide it. Like the husbands know, the friends and family know. So it's kind of cool that we got to share that with everyone.
It is. It's definitely, I've tried this, maybe I've said on the podcast, but now that like people know, they're like more inclined to have a conversation with you about something you've talked about on the podcast that you have not had with them in person. And you're like, what?
Yeah, like how do you know about that?
I haven't had this conversation with you. Yeah. And then you realize like, oh, they listen to the podcast.
Yeah. So it's kind of
cool. So it is kind of cool. It's just very weird.
Yeah. Because I kind of forget that the podcast is out there. So if someone texts me and says something, then I'm just like, what? Like like where did you get that from? Like,
exactly. Yes. 100%. Or they do something cringe like Liz, if you're listening, and sends a video of them watching in their living room for their whole family to see. And they send a video of you talking and it's like.
Yeah, I don't know. We are speaking, and I think our husbands made fun of us for this, where it's like we're publicly speaking, we're sharing our voice with the world. But to me, when I hear it back, it's still cringe. And I don't know if that will ever go away. Like I can do this. I don't have problems like creating content and posting it. But then like all of a sudden, if like my husband pulls it up on his phone and I hear it like across the room, I'm just like, shut that off. Like, why do I hear that right now? Like,
yeah, or somebody's like, I'm listening to your podcast.
And I'm just like,
and you're like,
yeah. I'm like, okay, I know it's out there and I know it's happening, but I'm like
exposed.
I'm just like, ignorance is bliss. Like just to kind of like tunnel vision and just be like, no. Like it's fine. Like
I know, like theoretically we want millions listening, right? But then like for somebody to like know you and be like, I'm listening, there's still something inside that's like,
yeah. It's just like back in the day whenever I'd hear like my own voicemail or something and I'm just like,
Oh my God,
like,
yeah.
That's just how it feels. Like it's totally
It is.
fine. Like everything out there is okay. Like we love our podcast. We're happy that our friends
Yeah.
and family are listening, but it's just that psychological, like hearing it back and knowing that people are listening is like, ugh, like.
Yes, 100%. And I don't know if that will ever go away, really. I know that. So when we first started the podcast, when I was editing, I would hear my voice and be like, literally, like inside was just like,
Yeah.
and now it's like, just like very
Yeah.
like, it's not as harsh as it used to be.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not as harsh. So will it go away? I don't know. I mean, there's like actors still are like, I don't watch my movies for a reason.
Yeah.
So,
I could see that.
because they don't want to watch themselves act. Like it's I'm not going to just, although Jackie sometimes like, I'm listening to see if the sound quality is good and I'm laughing at ourselves.
Yeah, no, and I have listened back, like before we like post and stuff, like I'll listen back through the episode to make sure everything is good. And I'm like, I enjoy listening to it. So like that cringe factor has decreased for me as far as like our own stuff. I think it's the when other people are watching. That's for me,
100%.
like where I'm still stuck.
100%.
Like,
It does make me happy though. Like, so some of the feedback we've gotten is they're confirming, because what we started this podcast because we wanted something very simple for people to listen to, and it should just be something you put on, and it's not like this super deep topic. It's not about specifically one thing. We just want it to be like a friend in your room while you like are driving or doing laundry or chat, like whatever it is, cleaning the house, or we just wanted something that you could feel like you had a friend there. And I feel like other people have confirmed that is what they've gotten from it. Yeah. And I love that.
Yeah, because that means we've hit our like mark, our goal and our objective of the podcast. So it's really fun and like heartwarming to hear that feedback.
Yeah. So I'm excited, and I hope that 2025 for this is great.
It will. We're going to manifest it.
I'm excited. Well,
it's fun.
It was nice chatting. It's always nice chatting. Because we really haven't talked too much actually in the new year. I think in general, like
it's just been busy.
Even in the holidays, I know the past few podcasts we've said the same thing. Like we haven't talked much, but we really, I think once Thanksgiving hit, we kind of didn't talk as much because just holidays and all the things. Yeah. So it's always nice chatting.
Yeah. And now the kids are back in school. So I feel like now we're back into our normal routine. So you can expect normal from us now.
Now we're back at the 7:45 like, hey girl. Morning.
The kids are out of the car. I can finally talk in peace. Yeah. So
I know. Yeah. I'm excited, and 2025 is going to be good.
Yeah. Happy New Year to all of our listeners. We love you guys, and thank you so much for tuning in, and we will chat with you all soon. Bye.
Bye.